And the headlines, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says Ethiopia is making strides in economic development and military capability. And Ethiopia calls on African youth to lead climate action. Hello, this is ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I'm Santayot Amarat, who is the news. Do stay tuned. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed stressed the importance of building military capability to sustain the ongoing economic development and ensure Ethiopia's prosperity. The Premier has visited the Air-Abay drone manufacturing facility. In his remarks concerning the visit, the Prime Minister emphasized the economic transformation is one of the fundamental pillars supporting a nation, and he pointed out that Ethiopia is realizing substantial achievements in this regard. Abiy mentioned that due to the economic reforms, Ethiopia has emerged as one of the countries making strides in economic development. He further stated that reinforcing the economic growth, which is progressing positively with the military strength, is crucial to ensuring prosperity. The Prime Minister asserted that the achievement of prosperity in Ethiopia and its transformation are indisputable realities, emphasizing that the economic journey currently underway must be bolstered by military capability. He noted that today's visit demonstrates the military capabilities that Ethiopia is building alongside its economic development. The Air-Abay drone manufacturing facility is producing reconnaissance drones capable of easily transporting a variety of equipment in addition to commercial drones, Abiy revealed, pointing out that the numerous institutions are also engaged in the manufacturing of drones.
Yesterday, countless heroes bravely fought at the Battle of Adwa. Our nation and freedom were cemented in blood. Current generation's patriots walk tall, inspired by their ancestors' sacrifice, and they too write their own victorious story. They harness their strength, gather their blessings, and build their nation. They protect nature, renewing it like a fresh dawn. They preserve their history, adorning their country. They unite their communities, clothing the land in prosperity. They strive to rewrite their nation's darkest chapters. A generation that collaborates like their forefathers, forging its own brilliant legacy. Being the children of the Nile, the grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam Gerd, a symbol of the second generation of patriots, a force of collaboration, a testament to unity. Ethiopianism is an emblem of triumph.
And Ethiopia calls African youth to lead climate action. Ethiopia's Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Truna emphasized the crucial role of the African youth in shaping the continent's climate future during the opening of the African Youth Climate Assembly at the Adwa Victory Memorial Museum in Addis Ababa. Addressing youth leaders, dignitaries, and development partners, Temesgen highlighted Africa's paradox. While the continent contributes minimally to global greenhouse gas emissions, it disproportionately suffers from climate impacts such as droughts, desertification, food insecurity, and floods. Despite these challenges, he cited Ethiopia's climate resilient development as a beacon of hope for the continent. Initiatives such as the Green Legacy Initiative, launched by the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, have resulted in the planting of over 48 billion seedlings, the creation of millions of jobs for youth, and steps to ensure long-term food security. The country's investments in renewable and clean energy further demonstrate how Africa can achieve its climate goals through active citizen participation. Young delegates need to dream big, speak boldly, and work together across borders to drive Africa's just and green transition, he said, urging governments and partners to go beyond symbolic gestures and make tangible investments in youth, leadership, and climate-focused enterprises. African Youth Climate Assembly 2025, hosted by the Ethiopian government as part of African Climate Summit, convenes under the theme Accelerating Global Climate Solutions, Financing for Africa's Resilient and Green Development. The Assembly brings together young leaders from across Africa to exchange ideas, foster cross-border collaboration, and advance practical strategies for climate resilience, green development, and inclusive growth. Tamasgen concluded by reaffirming the continent's confidence in its youth and calling on them to lead with innovation, collaboration, and bold action to build a truly climate-resilient Africa. Ethiopia's Minister of Planning and Development, Fitsum Assefa, says the upcoming Second Africa Climate Summit is expected to adopt the Addis Ababa Declaration, which will unify African voices and strengthen the continent's climate position at COP10. The Second Africa Climate Summit is scheduled to take place here in Addis Ababa from September 8 to 10, 2025. Under the theme Accelerating Global Climate Solutions, Financing for Africa's Resilient and Green Development. Shagai Mata has more from Ethiopian News Agency.
The Second Africa Climate Summit, set to take place in Addis Ababa from September 8 to 10, 2025, aims to redefine Africa's aspirations for a climate-resilient and prosperous future. Speaking to the Ethiopian News Agency, Minister of Planning and Development Fitsum Assefa stated that the Addis Ababa Declaration, to be drawn at the end of the summit, will as common stance at COP13 Belém, Brazil, and also guide the continent's engagement at the UN General Assembly and the G20 summit.
One of the important things that we expect from the African Climate Summit is the Addis Ababa Declaration and its contents. The Addis Ababa Declaration will try to bring African voices together, a unified voice, taking Africa's position, climate position, to COP30 Belém. Not only that, before we have the UN General Assembly, we have the G20 summit. So climate is an important thing, and it's a challenge to the economists, but also, as I've said earlier, is an opportunity to act. So it will bring the African voices together. This declaration, which I just mentioned, that's an important outcome that we expect in the Africa Climate Summit.
Beyond the declaration, Fitsum added that the summit will host several side events aimed at bringing stakeholders together, mobilizing finance and supporting homegrown climate solutions across African communities. For Ethiopia, she underlined that the event carries special significance. Minister Fitsum indicated that Ethiopia will highlight the challenges it is facing as well as the climate actions it is undertaking.
Hosting such discussions would mean Ethiopia would present the challenge that it is facing in terms of climate change, but at the same time it will also give an opportunity for Ethiopia to showcase the climate actions that we are making, from green legacy to our sustainable cities and communities development, to the sustainable green energy development, as well as our food system transformation. So it will give an opportunity to showcase what Ethiopia is doing as an action to curb climate change.
The minister further noted that Africa and other developing regions contribute insignificantly to global emissions, but bear a disproportionate burden of climate impacts. In this regard, she stressed that developed countries have a responsibility to support the adaptation and mitigation efforts of Africa.
Discussion has been on table for several decades. Africa and other poorer corners of the world are really contributing insignificant to climate change, but they are suffering more than proportionately. So there is always responsibility to the developed countries to really contribute to adaptation and mitigation works in Africa and other continents. But countries are not delivering on their promises. So we'll keep on pushing on these countries, on developed countries, to keep their promises to really contribute to adaptation and mitigation works.
The minister finally called for better and more affordable access to climate finance so that African countries can effectively respond to the climate crisis.
That winds up the news for the hour from ABC World, and a quick reminder of top stories. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says Ethiopia is making strides in economic advancement and military capability. And Ethiopia calls on African youth to lead climate action. Thank you so much for watching ABC World. See you.